Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome and welcome back to Mythlanders. I am DM Feanor, and this is session 4 of Goblin Stone. We have our fantastic Mythlanders here. We have Ponpon playing Helena. We've got Locator playing X. We've got J Fink playing Millie. Nick Beat playing Clifford. And Big Bride Little Fry playing Locag. Now, let's see here. Last session on Goblin Stone, the party got a bit of respite. Was able to sort of stock up some supplies, deal with and help some of the local townsfolk set up some quick barricades, assemble some sort of defense. And once the sort of plight of the different townsfolk hit with several people missing, relatives of people that you all saved or that the party saved and worked with. But with that and the great looming mystery of what this stone is, why it's fallen, and what the goblins need all this meat, and who the masters are, they decided to find their way into the stone. At first slipping into the sewers and braving its dark and Helena's least favorite creatures, slimes. And of course, given that slimes are often used to clean out the sewers, of course they encountered some. Taking out two rather handily and without taking too much damage, no loss of limbs or equipment destroyed by the green slimes, they managed to slip upward up to a sort of narrow shelf and traveled along in what seemed to be a large chamber. They couldn't see really the walls or the ceiling beyond what they were walking along, finding a section of like sort of bluish white stonework that you all that they had been told would bring them into the royal catacombs, or the tunnels, secret tunnels that the nobility used to move to the gates or the docks from the palace. They have made their way forward, but before they found the location that Helena was looking for, a particular ladder going back up to the streets, the party met with a cracked and broken corridor. Once fine stonework as they're traveling along, sort of broken angle of it as if something had smashed into it, which of course it had, a great stone full of goblins. Climbing up the broken stone, they found water down below. Slipping down toward the water, they could look out, smelling swampy water, swamp mixed with sewage somehow. They could hear the shouting and fighting of goblins. What Locag knew was a fighting pit. They could hear the ringing of many anvils, the fierce, biting chant of some priest or holy one, unholy one perhaps, deep in the goblin stone, and the cackling of a perhaps mad old woman in a cottage that should not be in this place. And that is where we left off last session. Before we continue, I check with everybody and see if I left anything out. So, DL, X. Anything particular that X might remember that you think stands out?
Well, we get the town square all fortified and ready to defend for the townsfolk, so we hope Baba Brune's there when we get back.
He likely, took the warp rats in hand, your friend Pell, to a couple of you, and some other capable, one guard that's managed to survive the onslaught. So, they've got about as good a chance, probably, as they did before, if something overwhelming comes upon them. All right, how about Clifford? Is there anything else Clifford might recall?
I remember being surprised. Like, what? Yeah, I think I remember just sort of slogging through and dealing with slime and working our way deeper into this darkness. And then finding something like civilization, or someone, who sort of settled in here is kind of entertaining. So I'm kind of been waiting a week to find out what this is about.
Heck yeah. How about you, Helena? Anything else that might stand out for you?
Yes. With the part where the rat brings Helena a cloth back from Hardy Cart.
Ah, definitely something that seemed to like galvanize you all into a certain direction.
I can't recall. Did we think that meant that Hardy Cart was still alive? Or that we must
I think
avenge Hardy Cart? I think it was more that we were trying to avenge Hardy Cart.
Yeah, I think the feeling that you all were left with was that if Hardy Cart was alive, he was probably in a bad spot. Yeah. All right, let's see. How about Locag? Anything else stand out for Locag for last session?
No, I think all major points were hit.
All right. Well, how about you, Millie?
I know we people grabbed a few more items, and then during the fortifications, we lost the beacon of hope and the got the rat delivering the cloth. So
Bacon.
now we're in the beacon of hope, and yeah, just the slimes falling on us from the ladder was very entertaining.
Well, let's see what more entertainment we can find as we step forward. All right, so let me go ahead and transition us onto a new map area. This is where you all will be starting out. And let me show our wonderful, wonderful viewers a little bit of that area. Oh, let's see here. Having a technical difficulty. Give me just a moment. I think... Pardon me, just a moment. Having a little bit of a...
The cave background looked just like my background in it.
That was the plan.
All right. So give me just a moment. I have to fix a technical difficulty in the background. So as you all come out into this, standing just above on broken rock, just above dark, swampy waters. A few of you can see decently far out, but you can't really make out anything in the water nearby. The closest thing you can see is the strange cabin itself. And if you look out toward what you think is the north, you can see the sort of some large pillar shape or something, maybe along the sort of eastern wall of the cavern. Still having a little bit of a difficulty. Go ahead.
I'm not a fan of the smell of this place.
You get used to it.
Yeah, I'm sure you're used to it, but I'm used to some pretty posh digs, I'm not used to this kind of crawling around underground. That's like the old days.
The old days?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time underground. Don't miss it. Not one bit.
It has
No,
its advantages.
no.
What were you doing down underground?
It's complicated. Won't say much, but I had a relationship with some gnomes. Business relationship. Helped them out a little bit. We had an understanding. Can you speak gnomish?
No.
No, Nish.
No.
Ouch.
The smell reminds me of locker room at fighting pits.
Sort of the opposite of that. Highfalutin, in a way. Like, they always, when they talk, like they know everything. Like, you know how there's some people that do that? The entire, just everyone, every gnome I met thinks they're the shit.
Better than
Sometimes
being
not.
in the shit, I suppose.
Well, they live real clean, but they like to keep out of the way so that giant rocks little goblins don't attack them.
All right.
Clifford starts to wonder what happened to this gnomish crafts person that he met. A little worried about it. May have befell Phidias. He is a little bit concerned. Maybe he'll find it.
All right. You guys can go ahead and bring. You all can bring your tokens out onto the map. There you go.
All right.
And highlight your tokens and roll initiative.
Oh boy. Let's see.
I can't see the map.
Oh, it's way to the bottom. It's sort of
Oh,
the
okay.
bottom. I had to zoom out.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Heroes.
All right.
The initiative. We are not about this apparently.
I need one more for Cliff.
Yeah, I'm just about to. I'm trying to.
No problem.
It's I should have done this before.
Cliff will save us.
Yeah, I was trying to click him and I can't seem to click Cliff, so I'm not sure if it's going through, but. Roll 21.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, I just can't click my no valid token. I can't seem to select my token.
Oh, are you maybe on the wrong? Do you have the wrong tool selected? Do you have a measuring tool selected? That can
No, I
definitely.
got the little Control S, like the little arrow. Do I have the wrong token? I don't know. It's Clifford. Come on, Cliff.
This map is new to me. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't seem to have the power to control myself. I just can't control myself. Unless there's a different one.
No, this should do it.
Oh, now I can select them.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'm special now, but now I can select them. Thank you. I don't know what happened.
You also got the green outline. You might need to relink all of the tokens there.
I see that.
Yeah, there they go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Interesting. Well, sometimes
Silly
roll
API.
20 likes sometimes 20 likes to throw you a bit of a curveball
Yeah,
and
it's all right.
alter things for you.
Can you manually add the 21? I don't know how to do it if I'm.
I gotcha. Yeah. That is coming in.
Everyone else rolled garbage. My God, I'm pretty low. initiative.
Yeah, I think that's why Millie was like, Cliff will save us. All right, let's see here. Music should be at a good level.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
so just to go over our status, DM, do you want to let people know what happened with the level
Okay,
up?
yeah. So
Just
at the end
so
of
that viewers might be aware.
Absolutely. At the end of last session, the characters leveled up to level 2. The way I run this in action, if there's not at rest, is that they don't get any new hit points. They get their hit point maximum. The only thing they get is new spell slots, not prepared spells, just the slots, and class abilities, until they take a rest. That is all they'll receive. So at the moment, they're still going to be low on HP, but they might have a few new abilities that will help carry them through the difficulties that lie ahead. So thank you for that reminder, DL. So the darkness beneath the stone is a sort of dusky, rusty red. similar, to the color of the stone on the outside. What little light carries down from fires hidden on shelves above, they just barely put a sense of like rusty dust into the air. The old lady in tattered, rounded, and misshapen clothes still sort of clicks and clucks at something in the water, throwing bits of food. Still hear drums, the clanging of arms, the chanting of some unholy priest or priestess, as well as the hammering of blacksmith's anvils. So Lokag, perhaps the first and used to climbing over rocky terrain and, cliffs and perhaps caves. What does Lokag do? What are his thoughts?
I think I hear a fighting pit. This could be good. I have spent all my money on this beautiful hat. I could use some more. Perhaps the goblins pay well. I have never fought in a goblin fighting pit before.
People who spend money on hats.
I bought the hat from you.
Oh, yeah, well, you came to the right place. And it looks great on you.
It is my new lucky hat.
I'm glad it's been lucky for you. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I think Lokag is gonna move up, across the rocks, as well. Just right there. Not too far ahead.
Now it's very dark for you. You can barely see the outlines of the rocks, just enough to move along. You can technically see to the sort of end of your vision, but almost anything could be hiding beyond 15 feet of you. There's not very much light at all coming down from above. But in a pool of light, of course, across over to the west is this small, shoddy looking cabin. It looks like it's more stacked together than built. You could definitely see that and the sort of mound of land coming up out of the swampy sewage. But beyond that, it's hard to see, as Goliath do not have dark vision.
I think it's wise to head to that hovel.
Well, let's go.
Does anybody else have any thoughts about that?
I got your back. I'm a little concerned about what might be in the water, so I'm gonna look in there and just see what this lady's feeding. Clifford is gonna be careful and kind of check the water and see if he notices any movement of just underwater creatures. That's his concern right now.
Okay. All right, go ahead and make a perception check.
All right.
Does anybody else have any thoughts about heading across the water toward this cabin?
We need a boat.
I am an excellent swimmer.
Unless you can make stones float. I don't see any wood around us. Besides that hut. Maybe.
All right, Clifford with a 14. You cannot see below the surface of this water. Let's see here. With no dark vision, it's also incredibly dark for you. There is definitely a
blinds.
Oh, that's true.
It has
Okay.
to be,
You don't
have to be pretty close.
Yeah. Getting up to the edge of the water, you don't sense any motion in the water. And what you can see of the water is thick with floating scum that you probably wouldn't want to look too closely at if you could see. And
Pretty gross.
so if you could see better, it would still be hard to tell. Almost anything could be hiding underneath the water.
I don't like it.
X is going to use his dark vision and look around and see if there's any sign of anything that might take us across the water.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception or investigation check, depending on how you're. So if you're looking sort of far out for objects, or if you're, looking for hidden stones just underneath the water, or that sort of thing. Perception?
25.
25. Excellent. So you don't. The closest thing that you see is as you look out to the south. Reveal a little bit more on the map. You kind of follow this southern wall and look outward. Okay, let's check where you're at now. There doesn't look to be much that you could climb across, but to the south, there's cliff walls that rise up out of it, and you can see that they slope down a bit into the water. Like, you might be able to at least mostly be out of the water. It's hard to tell how deep it is, but there's definitely some fallen rocks and stuff along that southern cliff, and so perhaps going across along next to the cliff might be ideal. As you turn and walk toward it and sort of scan the wall, you can see about 25 feet up, there's a set of stairs cut into the rock. They go out of view in both directions and climb slowly. They might even, the climb is shallow enough, it's not very steep, that it could ring a whole area depending on how large this chamber you're in is. So the stairs, there's very unlikely, based on the angle of them, that there's a entry to that stairway nearby. But you could certainly climb up to it.
There are stairs here. I'll say to the group.
Where's the lady with feeding the animal? She's over on that island
out
there, or
here.
way over there?
Yeah.
Quite some distance away. Gotcha. Well, I got a hook. If we need some help climbing up. Clifford will offer the grappling hook and launch it up to the top if we need to.
Might be a good idea.
Would it be hard to get across the water there? We have to kind of wade through it, or can we kind of try to jump over?
Slimes, they're in there.
Would you go ahead and ping where you're talking about? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, just going jumping across this space below X, that sort of, it's like, 10 feet or something.
Yeah, if you got right to where X was, X could make that jump without any effort. Yeah.
Well, then I'll go ahead if you like, and I'll shoot a rope up there with a grappling hook and try to make it easy for everyone.
All right. Go ahead and make an attack roll if you all are. If that's what you all want to do. The rest of you can weigh in, and you all see him pulling his grappling hook out, which will likely make a little bit of noise.
Yeah, I try to be, thoughtful about it, but we've already been chatting it up, so hopefully it won't be much louder than that.
True enough.
So I'm gonna start whispering a prayer under my breath, and I'm gonna say, "Matcha, help this man," and I'm gonna try to cast guidance.
Okay.
Sweet. Thank you. I will hold on to it. I'm going to use it now.
This time, for some reason, when you reach out again, out toward that old familiar sense of presence, you feel something. You're not sure it was. Yeah, you can't be sure who or what it was, except that they saw you and heard you. You feel that power flow through you. I imagine there's almost a pain to the relief the strength of how how much of a relief it is. But you tell me, what is that like for X?
You wouldn't see a single change in his expression, his body language, anything. So it's all internal. He's like flooded with relief, but he's not going to show anything to anybody. so nobody. I mean, you would never notice. He's just like, okay, all right, this is working. Yeah, all right.
I got a 23 on my insight check.
Well, I think, unless X is trying to hide something, you might notice some small detail.
He gets you. He reaches. He understands what it's like, man.
I wonder if he actually does.
Well, no, he thinks he does.
Right, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you might notice some pause after he attempts to cast that spell. And you remember him trying to cast something before and you not noticing any effect from it.
He feels the guidance in his soul right now.
Yeah,
like,
so that's probably where your insight picks up is when he tried this before and it didn't work.
Your insight would pick up just this moment where he's like, oh, that worked.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. All right, so as you move up, you whirl the grappling hook and toss it up. It does clatter along the stones as you softly, gently drag it, hopefully, to get it to catch on something. You feel it bite into a cleft of stone. Next in the order is Lokag.
Lokag is going to see this, and he's going to jump across and try and I guess is the rope just hanging down now, or Cliff, are you still using the rope?
Yeah, it's just hanging down. I'm holding the end, so I'm ready to belay or kind of keep it taut if you're climbing up. But it's pretty loose.
Got it.
You could just.
I'll shamble down and just like jump across here, boop, like that, like so.
Easily done. Even in the very dim light.
And he'll try and shimmy out of the way, perhaps around Cliff, to, well, kind of like, squeezing the edge a little bit more than the token could show.
Gotcha, yeah.
Perhaps he steps a foot in the water.
Well, and Cliff will start climbing.
Gently.
He'll start climbing up and lead, unless X wants to go first. So he'll get up and out of the way, up above.
Lokag, what was your plan? Were you just hanging back and gonna wait for others to climb?
No, he'll start following up the rope. So I guess because we're trying to go up, right? And
yeah, and along the top, I think there might be a way.
Yeah, so he'll start going up as well.
All right, you can both make athletics checks.
All right.
Excellent.
Oh, not great. Did we get advantage because of the rope?
You do. Well, actually,
good.
let's see here. Oof.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh my goodness. All right, so
I'm not as young as I used to be.
you climb up nearly to the edge as you reach up to the edge of the rough-hewn stairs. Stone snaps off in your fingers, and you plummet downward. You can somewhat steer your fall if you can make a dexterity saving throw or an acrobatics check to attempt to push yourself into the water instead of onto the stones below.
Right,
Can Lokag try and catch him?
You're on the stone too, so that could put you in a you're on the rope too, so that could put you in a precarious position. But you could try.
It's going to be much more entertaining if you let him fall in the water. I promise.
I think
For who?
he's. I think Lokag couldn't help but try and reach out and grab him or something by the collar or just around, like hold the rope with one hand and try and one hand catch a full falling man. He's pretty strong, but
That'd be awesome. I'm not too heavy.
I think that makes sense. I think Lokag would probably try that too by instinct.
All right.
So yeah, Lokag, you can make an athletics check.
athletics.
Mhm.
Okay. Ah, an 8.
All right.
Dang.
I did make my deck save though, so Clifford falls embarrassingly into the water, I suppose.
Okay, yeah. So he just arcs overhead. You get a grip on his hand, or you kind of touch his hand, but you can't get a grip. He just kind of slides out of your grip, and he splashes heavily into the water below. So yeah, Cliff, you hit the water, and it feels thick. At least the surface, like you're punching through a thin layer of tar or something. The
Oh, God.
filthy water flows over you. There's
Ew.
chunks and lumps of things. But what you feel most is that you splash down and you hit the bottom. Sharp rock kind of presses into your back, but not enough to really hurt you. The water's not very deep, it seems. For the rest of you that have any sort of vision at all can see the slow undulating waves. No big splash or anything comes out. The surface seems just too thick for that. But the waves do continue out.
God damn it. Now whatever's in here is gonna know I'm here. He doesn't actually say that, he thinks that, and he covers his eyes and mouth, and he's just like, God damn it, I'm so embarrassed. And then he'll try to climb back onto the rocks.
All right. So, Lokag, you finish climbing toward the top. Let's see here.
Lokag could just pull us up. He could just be our
True enough.
elevator guy.
So you're not at the top exactly, but you are, what you think about halfway up the cliff. It's, yeah, or maybe a little over halfway. There's more than, just maybe 15, a little bit more than 15 feet above you. It's probably possible to climb again, but you're on the stairs. They're very narrow, and you are large enough. You have to kind of put your back to the wall. You kind of can't go normally down and up these stairs. They're certainly built for creatures, built for and by creatures much smaller than you. But you could, hold the rope. You could pull people up and stuff like that. As you look left and right, there are just more stairs. I mean, the
Okay.
stairs continue.
I mean, I'll-
slowly sloping up in one direction and down in another.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, if I'll use all the movement I can to get as close to the top as possible. But yeah, that's what Lokag would be focused on.
Okay, so you continue, like you've climbed up to the stairs, kind of cut into the wall, and you want to keep climbing the stone up.
Oh no, he'll wait at the top of the rope, and yeah, he'll wait at the top of the rope just if he can be of any assistance
Okay.
up there.
All right, give just a moment. You hear above you, not directly above you, maybe a little bit over to the west, you hear two sets of booted footsteps. You hear the slinking of heavy chainmail and the clatter of some sort of haft, a pole up against a shield. Could be a spear or something like that. But it sounds like there's two sentries, perhaps on patrol, moving past your location above. You can hear soft muttering, and it sounds like your party has been heard. Maybe not identified, but something heard you and may be coming to investigate.
Okay. Lokag is gonna try and be at the top of the rope, but he wants to try and engage his hunter instincts and just be as silent as possible. Maybe silently shuffle back up against the wall a little bit.
Okay.
Because is it like the shelf above is like an overhang, or
Yeah.
where he could get underneath where they
Yeah,
are?
you're already basically underneath it. To climb up, you'd have to. Yeah, you would climb out a little bit. It is a little bit of an overhang.
Okay. Yeah, he wants to just kind of slow his breathing and start listening. So,
Okay. Yeah, the sounds of the dark stone around you open up as you listen. You start to hear the individual hammers and individual anvils. You can distinguish the grunting and the clanging of the weapons of the two different figures somewhere in a fighting pit. And from your position, and for the rest of you looking out toward that strange island, you see the waves of scummy water slowly roll toward and into the torchlight around that island. The figure pauses, sort of steps back from the scummy water, and looks around. You can see her body language as she hunches forward and peers in you all's direction. There are but a handful of heartbeats, sort of cinched with fear, before the old woman turns back to the waters and begins clucking at them, at whatever creatures she is attracting. The harsh and biting chant of the priest also echoes distantly over the waters. Next in the order is X.
Okay, so choice 1, climb up the rope and be up top. Choice 2, hide and shoot the first thing that comes our way. I think I'll choose number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll see if I can stealth, and if anything peeks its face over, I'm going to shoot an arrow right in its fotch.
Okay. Yeah, you can see the overhang above you. You can see Lokag up on the on the stairs. You can see the lip sort of overhanging him, and you can hear the sounds as well of the two figures. So you ready your arrows and ready your action. Helena, what does Helena make of all this, and what are her thoughts? What does she do?
You know, despite this being somewhat more similar to her natural setting, she doesn't really know this area, so I think her idea is to try to get over to the rest of the group and act as though she may be able to contribute or help, but is really just hoping they figure out. Although I was wondering if there are like any loose-looking stalactites I might be able to shoot down or something like that. They're like, you know, hopscotch across the water.
Well, the ceiling is so far above you, and it's very dark in here. Unless you pull out, a lantern or a torch of some sort. But even still, you get this feeling, because you've lived a good portion of your life underground. You know the sounds and the echoes of a large chamber.
Yeah, this is definitely intimidating to her. She's used to tighter quarters, like sewers and tunnels and such. So, you know how rats, if they're in a large space, they all go out to the edge of the room. So she's definitely going to edge out to the side. Do I have so many feet of movement, or can I just catch up to everybody else?
Oh, you can catch up. Yeah, we're in exploration at the moment, so we're a little looser with movement and actions.
I need to make any checks?
No, you're walking. You're sort of balanced, maybe a hand on the wall. The ground is the wall slopes right into the water, so you're kind of walking at an angle, balancing yourself, moving along the rocks.
Yeah, so, how's it coming along? We're gonna get out of here pretty soon, you think?
As Helena's hopeful words sort of roll over you, does anybody have any, because you all aren't planning to immediately leave. Y'all's plan was to get some information, try to rescue some people, come back out with something. And she seems perhaps, expecting you all to just be making your way right back out. So does anybody respond to that, or do you all just ignore it and continue?
I'm a little focused on getting the gunk off on my body, so I'm
That's-
just like wiping myself.
Fair.
That's fine. She just wants to look useful. She doesn't really care. It's probably better if no one says anything.
Okay, you can make a survival check.
Is that for me, Chris?
No, for Millie specifically. She's,
Ah.
you know, picking her way over towards you. It's a strange combination of smells for Millie. You're very familiar with the smell of sewers, but this other smell, it's a different sort of smell of rotted matter, and and this is the first time in a long time you've ever been somewhere unfamiliar. So yeah, Helena, if you can give us a survival check.
Mm-hmm. Was that to me earlier?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. You said million.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I was like, I thought that was my turn. I'm very confused right now.
I was also reading chat here in Roll20. Survival. Okay.
13?
You definitely smell slimes.
Ah, I knew it! Cursed slimes! Oh, they're everywhere.
And more than one sort.
Hmm.
You smell at least
Let's see.
4 different types.
Can she name them? I think that'd be hilarious.
You're pretty sure. Yeah, you can name. There's a green slime. You think there's a gray ooze.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I guess those are the 2 that you're most familiar with. So give me just a moment. There are kind of stronger, more dangerous gray oozes, and they might be one of the ones you hate the most. They have, they can attack your mind, sort of. They can create this painful, sharp set of searing sounds in your psyche that hurt physically.
Wretched. So she briefly details them with lots of colorful words surrounding to express her great distaste as she backs up further against the wall to get as far away from the water as possible and urges them to find a solution very quickly.
The last scent that you break down is the smell you associate with a gelatinous cube. It's hard to tell how close they are, but you're in their habitat.
Like I'm standing in it?
Well, this whole place, this is all sewer.
Oh.
There's sewer water mixed with water from somewhere else. I don't think anybody told you anything about swamps, but so yeah, it's a different habitat. You smell some other smells you don't recognize too. Likely some sort of slimes or oozes that you've not encountered before that may be unique to this place.
Just infested. Gross. Sickening. This is no place for rats.
And what does Millie do? What are her thoughts as you're looking out over this place, trying to get a view of things, but again, it's very dark.
Yeah, so Millie's kind of still looking towards the cottage hovel thing, wondering if this person's been here since before whatever's above us, or this catastrophe of stone falling.
You can make a history check. You can make it with advantage because it's one of the tales of the city, lore and myths.
All right, here we go. +0, history at advantage. Oh,
Oh my goodness!
get them all out now. I have no idea who this is or what it is.
Something is tickling the back of your brain. But yeah, it's buried down there underneath 1,000 more important details about the city.
Surviving day to day.
Yeah. Faces, names, individual alliances, who owes who money, that sort of thing. So what does Millie do? No new information from that?
Also, jump across. Probably using the rope since I'm in medium armor, so probably not too bad.
Yeah, that 5-foot jump, you can definitely make that. It's a little bit of a, landing. Your boots get a little bit wet, but and you can kind of cling onto the wall itself, grab the rope, and begin to climb up to the next, up to the stairs. So yeah, you can go ahead and make that athletics check. Nice. Okay. So as Millie comes, joins up with you and scampers up the rusty red cliff face above the scum-topped water, X and Helena, and Cliff down below. Cliff likely, about to pull himself out. Does so yeah, Millie, you climb up. Probably Lokag gives you a hand as you get up onto the more narrow shelf of rock that's carved at a slope. Occasionally there's notches cut into it that pass as stairs, but it's definitely tight. And you can see as it climbs, it gets closer to that overhang. At some point, it's going to be very tough going for Lokag to climb these stairs. So next in the order is Clifford. We're going to go ahead and you're basically about here. You pushed yourself out so you didn't hit the rocks. So what does Cliff do next?
Yeah, he just sort of cleans himself up and, tries not to look anybody in the eyes. He's sort of a little bit embarrassed, and he kind of looks up at Lokag. It's like, you want to pull me up, man? I think I twisted something. And then he kind of holds onto the rope, and he's gonna wait, see if Lokag doesn't mind pulling a Fezzik and dragging him up to the top.
Of course.
And I'll just hold on while he pulls me up.
Awesome.
I'll kind of keep an eye out for slimes or whatever.
All right. You don't... Let's see here. Okay, so as you're being pulled up, you can go ahead and make a perception check then.
All right. Sort of look as I'm getting a better view.
Yeah.
A 10.
A 10. Doesn't take a lot because there is some light over in that direction. The sounds of the old, sort of decrepit-looking woman in her tattered smock and robes. Her tone is, her voice has fallen silent, and she's still bending down and feeding small bits. You can kind of see her gesture in the direction of, the cave where Lokag and Helena still are down below. And you see things in the water moving. Three distinct areas of movement, but the shapes are indistinct. It just looks like patches of the scum-covered water itself moving. So it seems like whomever that is has dispatched something to come see what the noise is.
All right, we gotta make quick, they're coming.
All right.
Damn it.
So Lokag, you get Cliff up, you get him in good place, and I believe now below is X, just X and Helena. So what does Lokag do next?
Lokag is gonna drop the rope, and he wants to just see if he can listen any more to the things above. Maybe also helping Cliff kind of move past up the stairs a little bit. So that way, but he wants to stick by the rope in case anyone else needs help.
Okay. All right, so as those up top on the stairs are in various stages of getting sort of into position, and you could definitely hear the figures up top moving closer to the edge, cautious pace to their step. They haven't come into view yet, but they will at any moment. You can see X down below. I guess you're just your arm is up, right, with your hand on the tattoo.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, he's about to do that weird thing where he launches an arrow out of his skin somehow. It's a great trick. Probably do well in one of the. Sorry, say again.
Helena gags. Squeamish about it.
I love it. So then, anything else for Lokag?
I actually think that he would see X preparing, and he would know there's more than one. So he's actually going to pull out his hand axe and kind of like look up, like he's ready to kind of chuck it up at anything that peers over.
Okay.
Kind of ready in action. He's going to hold until X is fired first and throw the hand axe at whatever, in case anything else pops their head over the lip.
Okay.
I don't know. Is he in a position to be able to do that from where he is?
Yeah, I mean, there's the shelf kind of overhangs above you by like 4 feet, so they're gonna step out in front of you. If they lean over far enough, maybe. You'd probably have to like grab onto the wall and lean pretty far out and ready your hand axe over your head.
Okay.
Because there is that
All
overhang.
right.
So.
Actually, then in that case, because if it's hanging over too much, I don't think he's built for all that. And this rock is already broken once under Cliff's hand, so he actually wants to try and like kind of quietly pad up the stairs a bit. Does the stairs wind up to see the wind up towards that like overhanging path that's up there?
You don't see that it does immediately, but you see the stairs continue just out of sight to rise up. So you're sure they'll reach the top at somewhere, but it's not. You don't think it's close.
Okay. Then he wants to traverse about 15 feet of the stairs as quietly as possible.
Okay.
Moving slow.
All right. You can go ahead and make a stealth check.
Okay. Oh, that's a 5. I'm not sure
see
where
here.
he should be.
Cliff, you hear in Goblin, and for anybody else that speaks Goblin, it is a deeper, more solid, more assured voice than what you've heard from the goblins.
There, I heard it again. You jump at shadows. No. If there are invaders, honors can be ours.
Barely hear it, as if they're trying to sort of whisper to themselves, but... Alright. As you all sort of pause, waiting, listening to the sounds of the armored bootsteps coming closer, you see the first thing that you all see are the bow of crossbows in hands as they come forward. Male gauntleted hands, arms, and then let's see, there's just enough light coming from above. You see orange faces. Their faces look like goblins, but more angular, longer, perhaps, less rounded and pinched. They perhaps look like full-grown goblins. Those of you who have any experience with goblin kind, well, actually, let's see here. You might not know, outside of mythology and lore, you may not know what this is, but you can each, well, let's see here. Lokag, Helena, and X can all see the hobgoblins. Everyone else is too far underneath the shelf at the moment. But The three of you can make history checks. Survival, history, or arcana checks.
Would Cliff be able to see him?
Not
hears
at the
them?
moment. You hear them.
Alright.
So let's see here. So yeah, without seeing them though,
Stop.
that's them.
Yeah.
So history, survival, or arcana for Helena and for Lokag. Oh, that's one for Lokag. Okay, then one for X and for Helena. Let's see if you can make out, if you know what these things are. They have almost polished, gleaming chainmail.
Team.
Stronger, more powerful goblins is all that you all can figure. But they're certainly not your friends. So, Lokag and X, you can make your ready to attacks. As two, you can just barely make out two goblins standing over the cliff.
Do I have advantage?
Let's see here. I don't see that you had hidden. Oh, stealth 20. Yes, you do.
Okay, I'm gonna do that thing then.
All right, do that thing. And nice. And Lokag, you can also throw that axe out.
Ooh.
24 is definitely going to hit.
Ooh.
Now there's one on the left.
Lokag will aim for.
Go ahead.
Lokag will aim for whichever one the arrow didn't fly towards, throwing his axe just a couple seconds after X.
Okay. So X, which one did you hit?
This one.
Ping again, please.
If they're the same, it doesn't matter. Just
Okay.
one of them.
All right. So the first one's going to be on the left. Checking the stream view. All right. So first is the one on the left. It, a pained, ragged sort of shout comes from the figure. Ah! And for that 15 for Lokag is, let's see here. It thumps into the chainmail shirt. You see the figure wince, but the axe drops back down. You can make a dexterity save or athletics check to see if you can catch your hand axe. 'Cause it doesn't deflect; it
All
flies
right.
up, and it's at a bit of an angle. So actually, you couldn't. But X or Helena can attempt to grab that hand axe instead.
I'll try it.
Okay.
What should I roll for?
Go ahead and drag a. If you have any, a dagger, any ranged weapon will be fine.
Okay. Short bow.
Or was it a dex save or?
Oh yeah, be a dex save or athletics check first to grab it. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
A 12.
Yeah. The wooden haft sort of slaps like with a sting into the palm of your hand, but you caught his hand axe. Hobgoblin's a little far out of range for you to throw it that far, however.
Can I shoot my short bow?
Let's see here. Yes. You, let's see here. Did not try to, yeah, you didn't say you were making a ready to action, but, yeah, we can.
No, I could.
Oh, okay. Well, then in that case, yes. So generally, though, we want to call it beforehand, when it's our turn. But yeah, go ahead.
I guess the confusion was you specifically pointed out who could make ready actions and didn't mention Helena, so that's why I was asking now.
Well, yeah, it was because
Yeah.
it was because your turn had passed, but that's fine. We can go ahead and cover it. Just we'll remember it for next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your turn's coming up.
I don't mind waiting either.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay. Yeah. Let's just go
I
with.
would make sure I understood everything.
Okay. Yeah. Generally, so yeah, that's how we play it. Is you have to say you're readying that action beforehand. Sometimes at the table at our private sessions throughout the week, I'm a little looser with it, but with Goblin Stone, yeah, kind of do it
Fine.
by the book. Okay, thank you for being patient on that. And Cliff, thanks for the reminder that her turn is coming up and she won't have to wait too long. So next in the order is X.
Okay, this could possibly be fantastic. Are these goblins right next to each other?
They are right next to each other.
Okay. So my second level was in Cleric.
Mm-hmm.
I have taken Death Cleric. I have the Reaper ability.
Mm-hmm.
So if two targets are next to each other within 5 feet, I can cast a cantrip and affect both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I will fire up another tattoo.
Okay.
And this is going to be a silvery looking tombstone. And spectral grave is going to open up underneath both of these guys, and silvery hands are going to reach up out and try to pull them down in. That's just kind of an illusory thing, but these hands are just trying to claw them down. Toll the dead on both of them.
I love it.
And one of them will take a D12 because he's injured if he fails his save.
Let's see here. What is your DC? 14? 15. I did not
It says spell save DC 0. That's
Yeah.
that's not
That's not right.
so I've plus 3. It should be at this level it's what, 8 plus proficiency plus score, is that right?
Yeah, I got it. It just didn't get changed on your sheet. So your spellcasting ability is Wisdom, and now it should be 13.
13. Yeah.
All right. And you can go ahead and roll the damage for both. Don't mind. So 1 wounded, 1 not.
Oh, boom!
Damn.
Nice.
And then the not wounded is only a D8, right? Oh.
But now he's wounded. Haha.
Aha! Take that.
All right. So Wisdom save. Single roll. So we're looking at the roll on the left. 13 for the first one is going to make it, and a 14 for the second. Unfortunately, they both are going to make their saves. But still, for X, it might be enough that the power is granted to him again. He's got the connection again. But can't. Couldn't be the same one. Anything else for X?
With my movement, can I start heading up the rope because I'm still at the bottom?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Can I use acrobatics for that, or do I have to use athletics?
Well, generally it's athletics, but you're going to get advantage on the check.
Nine.
Cool. All right. So as you climb nearly to the top, the rope now has been climbed a few times. It's been tied around Clifford, so there's a good amount of scum and slime on it. You lose your grip and begin to slide downward. You can make another athletics or dexterity saving throw to see if you can somehow mitigate the fall.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic.
Crit save.
He does a cool spin and a parkour and ends up behind Clifford.
Well, he still drops back down, but sort of sliding along the rope.
It looks like he meant to do it.
Sure, yeah, he's, as he slides down the rope, his feet, you kick out, steadying yourself so you're not tumbling and being thrown one way or the other, slowing your descent without burning your hands on the rope. And you make you hit the bottom, but you maintain your footing. And let's see here. You do not take any damage this time, being close to the wall, the rope. So unfortunately, X is back at the bottom. All right, next in the order is Helena.
Well, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to aim right at that other hobgoblin that's already been hit
Okay.
with my short bow.
A 20 is a hit.
6 piercing. I don't think this counts as a sewer.
It
Gray
does.
area.
I would say it
Okay.
does for sure.
It stinks.
Then... Well, no,
Well,
I should have... I just thought it would add more of an advantage, I guess, but...
yeah, it's a lot more for like exploration, discovery, and fact finding.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mhm.
That's cool.
All right. Since got a little lost in the sauce, neglected to do this. They each make an attack. Ooh, look at that. 2 very low rolls. An 8 at Locag and a 12 at X. Both the crossbows miss. And they would step back out of sight. All right, does Helena say anything else? Or say anything? Do anything else? Any more movement or anything like that?
No, I don't think so. I don't really think there's much else. I mean, I don't know if there's anywhere else I can go at the moment.
Yeah, you could attempt to climb the rope or scale the walls themselves up to where the rest, some of your allies are.
I would like to do that. I don't really like being near this water.
That's fair.
Well, I'd probably trust the rope a bit more than just climbing on my own. Why not? Should that be dexterity, acrobatics,
Athletics
athletics?
with advantage.
Ooh, let me do it again. 19.
All right. So you managed to move. You managed to climb. You managed to climb. Well, actually, let's see. You managed to climb most of the way up the rope, but are still making the last few feet, moving toward it and climbing up. Of course, climbing, it's considered difficult terrain unless you've got skills that say otherwise. So you're currently on the rope, about 10 feet or 5 feet from the top.
Difficult terrain doesn't slow our group's travel because of natural explorers.
All right. Well, it's not. I call it difficult terrain, but it's that climbing just generally takes more movement. So, I suppose for you, I would allow a climb check. I would allow climbing to work that way, but I don't think that your natural explorability would translate to everybody else in terms of climbing. That's still going to reduce everybody else's movement. Good eye. All right. So next in the order is Millie. On the stairs, you can hear the hobgoblins above, and you can hear some of your allies making their way up the rope. What does Millie do?
All right. I assume I don't see either of these guys.
Not from where you're at, especially not now. You could hear them step back a little bit off the lip as your allies fired out at them. But curiously, they did not call an alarm.
All right. Is there... How much space between myself and my allies to kind of get up further along this stairway?
Very little. It's tricky and slow. You have to climb sort of if Lokag presses against the cliff and you sort of climb around him and on him, somebody clings to the wall and pulls himself up a foot so somebody can slip by them underneath. It is precarious, at the least.
All right, I'll move my about 15 feet up, I suppose, and then if I can't see anything, that'll be it.
Okay, so you climb. You're going to climb straight up.
Yep.
All right, it's a bit of an overhang, so it's a slightly more difficult climb, and of course there's not a rope, but you can go ahead and make that athletics check.
And
Nice. So with 15 feet, you come over the lip, puts you back here to simulate, to show that you had to sort of climb back, climb the overhang, clinging onto rock, basically over your head at some point. You all, to some of you, it might be a wonder to see Millie climb up and then over a chunk of ceiling, essentially, and then begin to sort of pull her head over the lip, her toes still clinging to points of stone that are too small for your eyes. But what Millie sees are two armored, orange-skinned goblins. Can make out a almost smooth, not well hewn, but obviously like these walls are carved long ago. Off to the left and right here and there, you see. I'll just show. You might have to zoom out on the map, but looking to the left and to the right, you can see braziers, like large fires set. And of course, the creatures both see you. One of them gives a warning grunt to the other, who's looking at its crossbow as it reloads.
all right, I assume I'm in quite the precarious holding position, so can't really access any equipment to
Yeah,
these guys.
true.
Cool. Any dashing ability I can do here to fully get up this, or am I kind of
So you could use your action.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
use that
absolutely.
action as a dash to get all the way up here.
Okay. So then they'll just take 10 feet of your movement to get sort of up onto the top, and then you'll still have the rest of that dash to reposition yourself as you like.
Okay.
I'll just reveal little bits as you adjust and replace yourself. All right. All right. You all see Millie scamper up and disappear over the lip. You know there are enemies just above. Likely Millie's in the line of fire up there. What does Clifford do?
Clifford's going to follow up. I'm not far from the edge now, am I? I get up there and get up to flank with Millie.
Yeah, you'll need to make that athletics check. There's no rope here. You're just climbing up the stone itself. And there's
the rope
that.
didn't-
Yeah, you threw the rope up to the stairs. At least that is what I heard earlier on in the session.
50, hopefully 13's enough.
Okay. Let's see here.
Do you have guidance?
Yeah, you might want to use that guidance. You're
Alright,
not
I'll use
falling exactly, but it's really very slow going.
Whoa. 15?
All right, 15. You make it up to that cliff, the same position she was. Her toes sort of hanging onto the, hanging onto the wall, and her hands on the overhang, pulling herself over where she can see. And so yeah, you're sort of in that same position, back to the waters down below. Very precarious. You see the two hobgoblins quickly, still reloading.
All right. Well, they don't call me Cliff for nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and swing my sword at him. Is that advantage, right? Or is
so
it just a bonus?
So you need to get up there. So you're still currently hanging in that position with the movement that it took. So it'd be your 30 feet is reduced to only 15 feet of movement up the.
How much did I have to? Oh, I wasn't clear. How much did I have to move?
Only 15 feet, but it's straight up and then over your head. So that would be, that's why the higher athletics check. But so that 15 feet, but each movement takes 10 feet of movement while you're climbing, unless you've got abilities that give you something else.
I see.
So it takes your movement to get to that precarious position. That's why Millie had to use her her action to dash to do anything else.
Got it. Okay, I thought I was higher up from the last round. That's fine. So then I guess I'll just move again and try to get into flanking with these guys.
Okay.
And that's it. Yeah, that's all I can do. I might have. I don't know if I have any kind of bonus action. I don't have spells yet. So yeah, that's all I got. No worries.
All right.
He gets up there. He faces off. He's got this sword in hand. And ready for action.
Both the creature's eyes, widen and then beetle back down in intense concentration. They seem to be letting their crossbows go to hang on leather lanyards off of their harness and reaching for swords at their belts.
Clifford does say, you don't want to do that in Goblin. Hey, we don't want to have to kill you right now.
Let's see.
He's not very persuasive.
Yeah, okay.
He doesn't care. He's like, you probably don't want to do that, but if you do, that's fine.
Oh, you only come here if you wish to die.
Rasps one in its own tongue.
I know not where you learned to speak the people's tongue, but you have no right. We will eat that tongue,
says the other.
If you say so. Okay?
What does Lokag do?
So Lokag, my token might be on the wrong side, but he was climbing up those stairs.
Mm-hmm.
He got about 15 feet up the stairs. He wants to get to the top where they are.
Okay, so that'd be an athletics check from where you're at.
Got it. And do my token's over to the left? Would I actually be coming up the right?
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, got it. So athletics check to get up the stairs. All right. Mm-hmm. I've been rolling great today. I think that's going to continue.
Say that a lot, and it'll go.
And
well.
it did.
23.
There we go. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, you handily and easily climb up to the lip. Of course, it's still, you're hanging on the lip at the end of your movement, and would need your dash to get up and into combat.
All right. Well, I guess we are going to follow suit with everyone else, and if I use my dash, you know what? This is fine. I'm right here.
Okay.
That's fine with me. All right. Dash is used. I'm good to go.
Their crossbows sort of slam back up against their chainmail thighs as they drop them, and long swords whisper out of leather scabbards as they stand together.
Oh,
yeah.
Can I interject a bonus action? Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry, I wanted a bonus act. No, my rage only comes back. No, you know what? Never mind. I'm sorry for interrupting.
fine.
Lokeg is not going to rage. There's
Okay.
not enough enemies for him to rage.
Fair enough. Not enough of a challenge.
Yeah. He's not that excited about it. Yeah.
But let's see here. They quickly try to assess you all and can see that Millie is wounded. They both turn and swing their longswords at Millie. A 22 and a 10. That 10 is going to miss.
Yep, 22 hits.
The 22 is going to hit. No, so that's not supposed to be two-handed. Goodness, let me just roll it over here. So for slashes for more than that actually.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
It's okay, I'm
For
down.
12. Yeah. As you see them very tight teamwork. One feints toward Millie. As soon as Millie's blade twitches to sort of cover that angle, the other one's blade snicks in and slashes a deep furrow along her forearm, almost from the armpit, from armpit to wrist. Blood paints the already red stones below. The other slashes, and of course whistles over Millie's head as she falls. Let's see here.
Only 2 left. We can take you, says the other to
Clifford. Next in the order is X.
Okay, are they still close together?
They are.
And I can still see them
You cannot
from where I'm at?
cannot see them from where you're at.
Okay, then I will be climbing up, I guess.
Okay, let's see that athletics check. And you had slid back to the bottom, so you still have to climb up to the stairs at the moment. It's 2. Go ahead and roll again, because you roll with advantage because of the rope. All right.
Oh.
You get up to
15.
Excellent. You get up to the shelf just in time to see Lokag and Clifford slip over the edge of the overhanging rock. You still have your action. Let's see.
Can I see the goblins from here?
No. You're just up at the stairs.
Okay, then I'll take the dash action and I'll keep going.
All right. You
I
continue.
do have an extra.
Go ahead.
I do have the extra 5 feet of wood elf movement, if that helps.
Okay, fantastic. So that gets you up onto the ledge of the stairs, and then you can spend your bonus action to climb. So your action. So let's see another athletics check. This is going to be a straight roll, however, or a single roll, not with advantage, because there's no rope.
4.
All right, as you climb up, you begin to lose your grip again. You can make that dexterity saving throw, or yet another acrobatics check. Okay, there you go. Dexterity saving throw. As you climb up, you're beginning to go up the overhang, and you begin to drop. You manage to sort of pull yourself back toward the wall a little bit with the last of your purchase on the rocks. So instead of dropping all the way back down to the water, you slam down onto the uneven stones. You do take a little bit of bludgeoning damage. You take 6 bludgeoning damage.
Ow. It's a very dangerous cliff.
I guess with my bonus action, then I'll probably. I'll save potion of healing. Okay, done.
Okay. Let's see. You would still have enough movement to. Well, no, you wouldn't have enough to regain your footing. So you're currently still prone on the cliffs. All right. Next is Helena. Up on the stairs as well, above the water. And so what is Helena's next action?
Continue moving upward, essentially. I know I had more rope to climb. And then some stairs, I take it?
Okay. No, you're up. You're basically, there's stairs cut into the cliff. You've climbed up to the stairs, and then everyone's climbing just straight up the wall from there and up the overhanging rock to the large ledge above.
Well, didn't I have more rope anyways, though?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You are just below the ledge, so you can finish up your movement and make another athletics check once you're on the stairs to then climb up above.
All right. $11.
Okay. And for you, with your deft exploration, the way we've ruled it, you still have, once you are, let's see. Okay, once you're actually able to get up, you have 10 feet of movement left, as well as your action. You can see Millie has dropped, and the blade of one hobgoblin is painted red with her blood.
Oh, man. Helena's not about that. She's enraged. She's never felt anything like this before. She actually cares about someone. That being said, the one with the blood on the sword, she's shooting. I'm close, though.
You're not too close.
Okay. So then, yes, I would like to shoot my short bow.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
26 is definitely a hit.
Wow.
9 piercing.
You can feel free to describe or pass as you dispatch one of the creatures.
Seeing her fallen and newfound comrade, she feels a welling of tears, and those tears are the hot gasoline that fuels the fire that rages through the end of her fingertips and out through her bow, going directly through the hobgoblin's heart. And yeah, that's it. Clean, efficient.
Beautiful. Nice description. Does Elena say anything as she takes down the hobgoblin? The creature?
No.
Okay. Nice. And let's see here. Millie. Let's go ahead and... Oh, go ahead. You weren't finished. If you had something else.
No, help isn't helping up is an action.
Yeah.
But okay, never mind then.
All right.
Cliff does look at the guy as he's dying and say, kind of gives him a look like, I told you so.
All right. Millie seems to be stable. You don't see any massive pool of blood appearing beneath her. But Cliff and Lokag, that was definitely a pretty bad gash you saw. So y'all aren't certain that she's in stable condition. Just no obvious signs that she's passing. Let's see here. Now, for you, Millie, as you know, the hobgoblin's sword slashes out at you, and everything just becomes a haze of pain and fades into darkness. The only thing that goes with you, oddly, is pain. For a moment, that fades as well, and you feel something like the charge in the air before a thunderstorm, but it feels like it's nearby. It feels like it's sort of shifting, and after what seems like an eternity, it seems to be a voice. You can't quite hear what it's saying. And you can tell that it's very, very large, very strong, and very powerful voice. You get the sense that you cannot trust the voice. And you get the sense by its tone that it's trying to beckon you toward it. Somewhere in the haze of dark and pain. Your instincts to tell you to resist that call, but it also promises power. What are Millie's thoughts?
Millie will resist. She hasn't needed power before, and she believes that power should come from people's own work and efforts not be gained through essentially being provided by that power.
As that you kind of got, this, as you sort of steady yourself with this, you can feel your reality like a scale from pain to the voice. So you go away from the voice toward the pain, which you're sure is the pain of your body, still living somewhere. Clifford, as you just sort of nod the "I told you so" toward one of the creatures, how does Clifford proceed from there?
He's gonna sweep around the other guy, stand over Millie's body, and swing at this hobgoblin. Yeah. Does he have advantage, or is it just a bonus for being flanking?
Well, currently, you're not flanking this one anymore. There's no one directly on the other side. But generally,
Helena there?
Helena is too far out of line. She's not within 5 feet.
I thought she was. It looked like she was next to it. All right, then he'll just get over here and do a straight shot and hope he gets lucky.
All right. A
That's a big
12 is not gonna hit, unfortunately.
All right. He's going to draw his short sword and go two-handed and do a second attack with his offhand.
All right.
A 10. No luck. Well, he's distracting him at least. That's it. He's just like having fun, having a little sword play with the hobgoblin, just like old times.
Just like old times.
Yeah, that's it.
So now that you've seen it, you can make that history, survival, or arcana check.
Oh.
Now that you've seen their faces.
All right, 20 on the survival.
Okay. Because, you've studied a good deal of different sorts of the creatures that you might have to deal with in your profession. And it kind of, it got you onto little bits of mythology. You think you're looking at a hobgoblin, which is something that you might not have thought existed before now. Distant, perhaps, relative of the goblin? You're not sure what the connection is exactly.
Songs about it. I imagine I've heard, songs about big goblins and that used to be around or something like that. So, is it a blue nose?
You don't see a
Just
blue nose
straight
on it,
orange.
but it's got a helm, a nasal plate covering its nose, so it's kind of hard to see. It's lost in shadow behind the steel.
Well, he'll just sort of take it in and analyze it and sort of size up his opponent.
All right. Manages to bring its shield into play. It's peering warily over it. Its eyes flickering back and forth. It's looking a lot less confident than it did before. How does Lokag proceed?
Lokag very deftly steps around the downed hobgoblin, whilst also bringing his maul up to bear, and then we'll get into flanking with Cliff and take a swing at this hobgoblin.
All right, flanking gives you a +2.
All right, so all right, it's just a 13. So.
All right.
All right.
Is unfortunately
and
going
then
to miss.
That is Lokag's turn.
All right.
Moving on.
From the hobgoblin, let's see here. It moves. It disengages, swings around Cliff. Begins to move away. To here. And it gives a shout of alarm. Cliff. Invaders! You hear the hobgoblin rasp. Disengage move. That is what it can do. Alright, X on the shelf of stone, the stairs down below.
Just a note that you can take the grappling hook and throw it ahead of you before you move as an action. It might give you a better chance of making it.
Or do self-guidance.
Can you guide yourself? I didn't think you could use guidance on yourself.
I don't think you can guide yourself. I wish you could.
You can guide yourself. You can't bardic inspire yourself.
Oh, that's
Just
right.
as any creature.
Yeah. You can guide yourself. That's true. You can
Just one
inspire
creature.
yourself.
Okay, so the way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll guide myself and try to climb up this rock. Yeah, gotta make it this time. I don't have enough action economy to throw a grappling hook and guide and climb all three, so I gotta pick two. So I can guide and climb, I guess.
I use my guide, so I don't lose anything by you're doing that.
So guidance and climb, that will bring that to a 10.
I thought we had advantage on this. I'm confused.
For the rope climbing,
If we don't have it,
climbing
ahead.
the rope, you have advantage. That just brought you all up to the stairs. The rope didn't go all the way to the top.
if a 10's not enough, I'm gonna use my session inspiration here then.
Okay.
Good fellow.
Is it not enough?
10 is not going to succeed.
Well, no. If you use inspiration, then does that mean you get the 13, which would be a 17, or do you roll again?
Roll again.
Oh, come on.
It's almost an 18. Oh my goodness, the die telling a story. X is perhaps just
He's not like
really focused on his renewed connection to the divine realms. So X is, had a tough time climbing up. One of your options is to sort of go east or west and see if there's more favorable places to climb up, other than the position where you're at with that miraculous steep overhang over your head. And actually, you have
All right.
night vision,
scout around.
so it looks like further west, that overhang isn't quite as steep. It looks like easier
Okay.
climbing.
I'll use any remaining economy that I have to start moving that way, I guess.
All right. Yeah, you've got a little bit from the wood elf, right?
Yep.
All right. So yeah, you managed to move about 10 feet, 15 feet to the west. It looks like not only is the overhang not as steep, just there, but it's like a little bit more close, and you can kind of reach out to your left and right and grab things to climb. It looks like a much easier climb. So far you don't see anything that's not going to be an athletics check to climb.
Okay, that's going to be my turn.
All right. Next in the order is Helena.
Well, can I help Neely?
Yeah. How would you do that?
I have. Oh, the gray potion wouldn't do that. Probably wouldn't help.
Hard to say.
She rustles around in her pack because she has a few potions, and she pulls out the gray one. And that's all she has in there. The other one's empty. And she goes, well. She then names her her bow at the other hobgoblin instead.
Yeah, before you do, you likely... Oh, no, excellent. All right, so a 12 is going to hit. You managed to slip the arrow past its shield, but the force of it is blunted by the chainmail armor.
Piercing?
That is going to miss, unfortunately, with that 12.
Oh, I thought you said it was going to hit.
It hit the armor, but yeah, it doesn't hit the target.
Oh, okay. Well then. I would like to reposition then. About right there.
Now, Helena, as you get closer to Millie, you feel something. You kind of feel something when you get close to Lokag, too. It's not something you've really felt before. But whatever it is, it feels thinner in Millie, like it's running out.
Oh no.
You feel like you could... You can sort of feel that same thing in yourself, and you feel like it'd be possible to sort of draw some in and maybe restore some of that for her, but obviously you would need an action to do that. So as you move over and reposition yourself, the hobgoblin's still sort of backing away with its shield up. And for Millie, another death saving throw. All right. So go ahead and make sure you're marking both those down. And whatever happens here with Millie, I keep death saves on the character sheet until a long rest.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So I think this might be the spot where we pause for a short break.
All right.
With Millie down, her fate uncertain. One hobgoblin dead, another step, sort of retreating from you all, trying to give warning or call reinforcements. And X exploring for a quicker way up. We'll have to see what happens when we come back from our short break. I'm going to step away just for a moment and get some more water.
All right.
But you viewers, you all stick around. Go and stretch your legs and have a break. Come back and see us. Some of us are going to stay in chat and talk while we all take turns playing musical restrooms, perhaps. All right. Well, I'll be back in a few.
I will be right back as well.
All right. DL, you're going to hang for a moment, or?
Yeah, I can hang.
Okay. I'll be back in just a couple
If
minutes.
anybody else is
be
gonna
good.
chill and talk.
Yeah, I have to go down eventually, but I'm good for a moment.
All right, I'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Setting in. Not get a lot
Turn
of
up the heat just to
yeah.
enhance your story. All right. Well, I'm gonna trade out for a second. I'll be right back.
All right.
Sounds
I
good.
am back. So how we doing, everybody?
Doing good.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out that hint you were dropping. Like, there's something that we could reach into and pull from. Are you saying that we could potentially access our magic if we do some certain thing?
Oh, I was sort of giving a narrative description of Pon becoming aware of her ability to cast Cure Wounds.
I gotcha.
But that also doesn't mean the answer to your question is no. Magic is a mysterious force, and there's many things that can catalyze the process of spell casting or, attaining magic, opening up new talents and things like that. So the only hint I would give there is it's possible that you all could, let's say, open new abilities that are maybe close to abilities you already have. That makes sense. Bestie. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I'll be able to take a moment and look at chat, so I'm probably not going to see everything, but I'm going to scan back through, and I just want to say, hi, everybody. Chat, thanks for being here. This is super exciting. We appreciate having you all, because, it's fun to play D&D with a private group, but it's also pretty fun to play it with people watching, and getting y'all's input and having y'all's reactions, and it's really fun. So we appreciate the support and the stimulation of having you all in chat.
So DM, whenever you stepped away, whatever you muted all of us. They couldn't hear us till you came back.
Oh goodness. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm having so the Stream Deck, OBS had an update and it doesn't support the Stream Deck anymore. Apparently. So when I went to mute, a wire got crossed. But I saw that when I came back. I was like, oh no. Sorry, chat.
It's a fascinating discussion, but you'll have to read all our lips.
Gives me something to practice on. I've been meaning to master my lip reading ability. I love the...
You just have to get the observant feat.
Nice. I love... I'm reading some of the text out of... chat out of context. Just... Darth Triades, beaver nuggets are a delicacy only found in Buc-ee's.
I now know I had to go onto Amazon and find them.
I'll have to agree. Yeah, beaver nuggets don't sound exciting to me. But I'm sure they have nothing to do with beavers, and it's just the nugget is the actual descriptor.
That was the most disappointing part to me. Yeah.
That's right, Night Fox. Put those dice in jail. The digital dice. You still tell the story, that's for sure. I'm telling X's story. The cliff, the unclimbable cliff. And thanks for joining me.
Cliff is my nemesis. Cliff thinks I mean him? No, it's the actual Cliff. like a Pokemon card or something, right? Weakness? Climbing.
Right, this is physical activity.
Weak to earth types.
So you're doing it all wrong. You've got to like take the rope and fling yourself up over the cliff. That way you can use acrobatics instead of athletics. We have one healing pot on the team that we're aware of.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, the X potion is the only one in the team. Oh no, and I can't get it to you guys.
He flings over the cliff, lands on his pack. The potion breaks.
Well, there's some extra abilities floating around the party that might help. A nice medicine check. Heretofore untapped magical ability, that sort of thing. But I'll have to see what you all can do.
Well, I can do spare the dying, Millie. So once you're gone, you won't be undead.
Excellent.
That's
I
what
just
really
made
matters.
a pact to come back as the undead.
Sounds like you were avoiding said pact.
This is not the back
Making
character.
the bold assumption. That's making the bold assumption that I ever get up the cliff.
6 hours later.
X is like, help! Lokag's just looking down laughing. He's like, lol, dude.
Oh, we bring our viewers the most provocative gameplay, including cliffs. Cliffs that cannot be climbed by one character in the party.
It's not hard. Just use your arms.
Yeah, I'm sure Lokag does not see what all the fuss is about. Neither does Millie. She scampered up pretty smooth with that 20. All right. Well, it looks like we are
He doesn't
all.
see much of anything these days.
Well, it's hard in here, especially. It's quite dark. It's a little more light where you're at, though. Still very, very, very dim light. But it looks like we are all back together. Everyone feeling ready to jump back into it?
Let's do it.
I am.
All
So,
right.
if someone wants
I'm
to help
ready.
X up the cliff, if I can help X up the cliff if someone wants to root around in Millie's bag to see if she's got any health potions.
Yeah, no potions here. I had to use it.
All right. Well, let's jump back into it then at the top of the order. With what Clifford's pretty sure is a hobgoblin retreating, trying to tuck itself behind its shield. Millie may or may not be bleeding out next to you as you're looking the other direction.
Yeah, I have to focus on the villain. So yeah, Clifford's gonna move through. That's bum. Get right. Where are you going? And then he's gonna.
Ah,
Do I see any other goblins? I don't know if I do, but oh god, I'm gonna roll a luck point. So
okay.
that's garbage.
Yeah.
Or I
That
guess
is
I get
what
my
it is for.
what's an episode thing. I guess I'll use that now. Second swing, 14 enough?
14 is gonna miss.
God damn it, bastard! Damn it, Ratchet.
Well armored.
All right. Well, I'll
Shake.
use my bonus attack.
That is
18.
going to hit. And with its shield
Alright.
up, that is its current AC. You barely get it past the shield.
All right.
And
I take him out and I dig under his skin there. That's only 2 damage though, because it's my offhand.
Okay.
I don't have TWF yet.
Right.
And I wait for someone to come in there behind him.
The creature just laughs. Ah! You will die here.
I think you got it wrong. I think you're projecting here. See, it's common. A lot of people have their own feelings and they put it on other people. It's a thing.
Shakes its head. It matters not what happens to me.
Well, good, because it's not going to be pretty. And he's kind of looking at Lokag as...
What is Lokag doing during all this?
Lokag is going to he's going to walk up to the edge, very casually peer down at X, and just kind of leaning over the cliff, going, "What, are you scared to come up here? Come here!" And he's gonna extend his hammer down so that X can grab it and he can pull X up over the cliff. What taking so long?
Although X doesn't have much expression, he is very grateful.
It's just a short hop to sort of grab the haft of the hammer itself. You can grab your hands around it, sort of loop your hands around it, and yeah. Lokag, you can make that athletics check, strength saving throw to pull them up.
Is it better? No, it's the same. Okay, 14.
14 is going to succeed.
All right.
Okay.
X is
Great.
now up on the cliff, right next to you. He, like
Excellent.
Cliff, they both fell. Let's see here. Yeah, Cliff is the only one that got covered in slimy water. Looks like X avoided the most of that when he fell.
I think Lokag is going to pull X up onto the cliff, give him a little bit too hard of a pat on the back, and say, "There you go, pointy ear, serious face." And then he's going to he's going to saunter. He doesn't run during battles often. He's going to throw the hammer up over his shoulder, and he's going to start sauntering the rest, his other 25 feet of movement over to the towards the goblin.
Well, that's how it's done in the arena. You got to make a show of it.
Yeah, it's kind of a strut.
Mm-hmm. Intimidating,
Yeah.
All right, and any bonus actions for Lokag?
Nope, no bonus actions this time.
Okay. The hobgoblin circles Cliff and slashes out. Let's see here. Yep, slashes out with its long sword, one-handed, still tucked behind its shield. It's going to be a single roll of 15 to hit.
15's going to hit.
All right. One-handed is going to do 6 slashing to Clifford.
All right. Ow.
It
Damn it.
shouts again, louder this time. Top of the order is X.
All right, so I'm up on the cliff now.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Millie.
Yes.
Okay, run over. Feed potion.
Roll that heal.
Nice.
Ooh, 7.
All right, 7 to Millie. Millie, that feeling of pain gets more immediate and stronger. That voice fades, and the darkness abates to a degree. You look up to see X's dimly lit face, pulling a potion vial away from your arm.
Thanks, X. There's something strangely evil somewhere in here.
So X, you still have your action.
I can see the hobgoblin from here.
You can.
I'm gonna toll the debt on that dude.
Yeah, he's late on his rent.
Actually, I'm gonna do chill touch instead. That makes me roll, so I'm gonna try the roll. All right.
Okay.
So it's the exact same animation. I have 2 necrotic cantrips, and I'm just gonna use the same spell activation for both. So this is a chill touch. It's a roll for me to hit.
Okay. Hobgoblin probably notices and tries to step out of the way of the arms, the hands that reach up, but they're too fast. He's too distracted by Cliff and this large barbarian lumbering in his direction. So that is a hit.
Okay, yeah, never mind. I can't do sneak attack damage with that attack, so it's just 2 necrotic, and I probably should have just used an arrow. But okay.
Yeah, you hear it suck breath through his
I'm-
teeth at the cold. Pop that spell description up for those who in chat who might want to see it.
Prevents him from healing, so I don't know if that's relevant or not. But
All right. Does X say anything?
nope, not this time.
All right, fair enough. So the next in the order is Helena. Here, Millie, sort of draw in a breath. Yeah, you saw X heal her. Oh yeah, you saw him drop a potion on her.
Does she feel that sensation kind of like subside?
Yeah, she doesn't feel as full as maybe as you do, but you can also feel that X doesn't feel, quite as full. But it's no longer sort of flowing out, diminishing as it was before. It seems stable.
Well, this hobgoblin has been quite gruesome. She's not about to let it get away. I'm trying to think right. It could be a good angle to get it. Let's see, I was here. Let's see. I want to go about right there. And shoot this hobgoblin. Again.
All right. Yeah. Heavily armored, the most heavily armored thing you all have ever... Probably none of you have really fought anyone in armor before. It does what it's supposed to do.
And this time I'm going to use one of my luck points.
Okay. So that's usually used when you roll a 1. You
Oh,
get to re-roll it, yeah.
alright, well, if that happens, I guess that's there. I'm going to use my inspiration then. I still want the advantage.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Heckin' yeah. 26?
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's right. That is going to hit, but you can use a lucky because luck in the new rules is different than in 5th edition. So you can use it to gain advantage, or you can use it to gain advantage. So you can use that instead of your inspiration if you like.
Yeah,
Whichever.
I would like to do that then.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. So that is definitely going to hit.
Alright. 6 piercing. Finally getting through. Teach you
You're at
psychology, philosophy, whatever yet.
it's a rasping, whispered gasp as the arrow sinks in to the figures just below its ribs. You can hear a couple of rings of chainmail fly free and roll across the stony ground. Hobgoblin is tough, however, and is still standing.
Be it for me?
All right, does Elena say anything else?
No. Other than taunting him with being schooled some psychology or philosophy or whatever.
All right. So the next in the order is Millie.
All right. Seeing the likelihood of damaging this guy seems unlikely. Wishing everyone else just kind of smash against it. I'm going to use my lay on hands to give myself 5 more hit points. And that's my turn.
Okay. What is it? What is it?
It's kind of lying on the ground still. I haven't rolled back up. Billy reaches into a pouch and pulls out a triangular coin, kind of holding it for a moment, looking at it strangely, and then just reaches her other hand, that's not holding the coin, to her chest, and there's a light orangish glow that kind of encompasses her, and some of the wounds heal up on her body.
Cool. Heck yeah. You feel you get a little...
And then I'll get up.
Okay.
So I'm nodded and prone.
All right. So yeah, half your movement to regain your feet, or 15 feet of movement to regain your feet. And all right. Does anybody have any reaction to seeing that glow of gold, of orangish light from Millie?
He's very pretty.
I'm a little distracted.
Absolutely. All right. Yeah.
This is good. I thought Smelly Girl was dead, so to see her alive is good.
No, you're not talking about me. That's all I care about.
No, you are a Rat Hat Girl.
As long as it's not smelly.
No, Rat Hat smell good.
So I imagine this discussion is sort of happening as the combat's happening, and just Clifford and the Hobgoblin is, skirmishing, fighting back and forth. There's bolts from X perhaps flying toward it, and this banter is what's going back and forth. So what is Cliff doing during this?
So you're just gonna die. This is that important. You're just gonna die, right? That's what you want to do. He holds the short sword ready, and he's ready to stab him as soon as he has a flanking buddy. So I'm a ready action stabby stab.
What's the ready to action for again?
Just to stab him as soon as I have someone gets up on behind him.
Oh, okay.
I'm basically distracted to help other people get advantage. But I will attack as soon as someone gets behind him.
It says, "All mortals die. Not all have a place in death."
But you're gonna be the first course, buddy.
Just growls at you. Obviously still looking to work its way around you and get further from you all, but the expression is starting to sort of harden on its features. The look on an opponent's face, perhaps even if it's just from gladiatorial matches or, marks that were gonna fight to the death rather than be taken. You know that look starting to dawn on somebody's face when they're just about to completely abandon all self-preservation and fight it out. And that's the look the Hobgoblin's getting. So your action ready? It's occasionally it's sort of turning its head pretty quickly, trying to dart a quick look back without taking its other eye off of you. So it can't really see them all too well. What is Locat doing? What does he do? Again, throwing out those last words of the banter between you and Helena. Go ahead.
So after, as soon as the banter kind of draws and he sees Cliff move around, he looks at Helena and kind of nudges her a little and goes, "Watch these." And then in a very quick movement, and literally just four big bounding steps, he gets up right behind the goblin and takes a reckless swing at the goblin with his maul, two-handed over his head, full exposure of the chest, and just slams the hammer down for a...
That'll be a +2 to hit.
For a 21 to hit.
That is a hit. Cliff, you can go ahead and roll your attack as well. Yeah,
If
and
it matters.
low CAG, you can roll damage.
Oh, 21.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, it's damage. Hold on. I'm going to use my feat of Savage Attacker to reroll those damage dice. Well, we'll see if we change it from the 8.
All right.
Let's try that again. There we
Ooh,
go. That's more like
right.
it. 15 bludgeoning damage.
Just 5 for me.
All right. So, as your hammer comes down, there is a sickening, wet crunch of bone. The armor, its chainmail sort of forced to tear at a seam. Chainmail rings go flying, some of them sort of bouncing off of Clifford's chest and arms as his own short sword lunges through, or slashes across. Cliff, you're pretty quick. You're ready. You slash out just ahead of Lokag so that his hammer doesn't clip your weapon on the way down. So you slash across. The thing is driven down. It buckles and falls to the side, and Lokag, you're able to sort of riposte your hammer and post it back up on your shoulder as the hobgoblin drops to the ground and ceases to move.
He turns with bits of skull and blood stuck to his face at Helena, and he points up at his hat and goes, "See? Lucky rat hat. Thank you, rat hat girl."
Helena blushes, tries to hide it.
Everyone make perception checks. And if anybody else has any reaction to the last, few moments, I'll actually just go down the list. Millie, do you have any reaction to any of this? Falling, raising, the voice, the laughter?
Millie's gonna kind of reach over to X, and will once again glow that kind of orangish golden light. And X, you'll get 4 hit points back.
Hey, thank you.
Nice.
When I was on the ground there, something was trying to persuade me to come to it. I don't really know. It's nothing, no one that I've ever heard before.
All right. Any responses to that from anyone? All right. X, do you have any responses or reactions to the recent events up to Lokag's booming laughter echoing out through the dark?
Yeah,
I would like to add. I would like to yell something in Hobgoblin.
All right. I was checking in with X right then, though.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so X has realized that he's got some magic back. The tattoo stuff that he's been working on for so many years seems to be kicking in and working and effective, and so he's like very, very satisfied with himself. So I think he's paying more attention to his own situation than he is the stuff around him.
Okay. How about Cliff? Do you have any reactions to events?
I just wanted him to yell something. He's not like really very good at deception, but say something in Goblin, like, you fight like an elf. Like, just to kind of maybe make it seem like if anyone's coming that it's really just the Hobgoblins, kind of showing off and fighting each other.
Okay.
So that's the idea. I'm kind of looking to see if anyone's coming, and yeah.
Okay. Okay. Making a note of that. And that will likely help any other deception checks in that vein in the future. But given that there's no one really immediately close, as far as you can tell,
All right.
A deception check
He'll
wouldn't be necessary
try
just
it.
at the moment.
Okay, yeah, and I think he's just sort of like as cover, and then if he can sort of like, we can all kind of maybe get low somewhere behind cover and move the bodies. That'll be what he tries to do while he can.
Okay. All right, and how about Helena? Does Helena have any responses or reactions to this?
I think she immediately goes to sort of scanning to see if any of her rat friends are around. You know, just to see if they can help or she can help them.
All right. So just like, making a perception check sort of thing, or moving around in a survival check to see if you can find any signs of rats. There's some options, unless you have another idea you thought of.
I like the survival, like looking for signs of them.
Go.
I feel like they can tell her a lot about the place.
Okay. Go ahead and make that survival check then for us. Oh, looks like a 19. Beautiful. Let me transition us back over to the map. All right. So as you look along the south wall, so just along to the south of you, you definitely find some very small, like you find all kinds of clefts, and you find sort of remains of bone and you definitely see signs that some small rodent or multiple small rodents have paused here to like eat a meal. You don't in the immediate vicinity see any holes toward like burrows where rats might be nesting, but there's definitely rats in this place. They're large. They're larger than the ones that you're used to. Not quite the legendary giant rats, which adventurers talk about, but definitely the size of, smallish dog.
Good size.
Fairly large.
Well, this gives Helena hope, and perhaps that can lead us to food stocks or other life. Maybe we can avoid where they're at, even.
Perhaps.
Just some of her thoughts.
You think over to the east. You think a lot of the rats seem to come in from different places into this little cleft that you're looking at, and you think they all go east. So there might be a small tunnel toward their burrow, or another deeper cleft where they're nesting, somewhere to the east. You could follow their trail. It continues off along the southern wall, and if you followed that east, you'd be following their trail.
I think that is her inclination. So she just mentions that she has found a rat trail and thinks this will lead us in the appropriate direction.
Okay. So with your heartbeat still pounding in your ears, your pulse starting to slow down, your senses starting to sort of open back up from that tightening that's like combat survival requires. Adrenaline is still singing through your nervous system. Sweat that isn't necessarily from exertion, standing out on your brow and on your arms. You can look out and you see small fires dotting the dark all around you. Looking to the north, you see that there's two, maybe close together. It lights things just enough that it seems that they flank a doorway. And as you all listen in the darkness deep below the ground, it seems like that door is where this harsh, like sharp and shrill chanting is coming from. You start to get an idea of where the different sounds are issuing from. To the south and west of you all, past the one lighted fire you can see, you all hear a door open. You hear other armored and booted footsteps. That same harsh and disciplined voice speaking in Goblin. It sounds to Cliff like a group being dispatched to find the patrol that shouted an alarm. You expect to have company soon. You all could wait for a moment, and if you stare toward this fire, the patrol will come into view and you'll be able to get an idea of the numbers that you'll be dealing with. Or you all could slip away and out of this spot. Obviously, there's time to drag the bodies off with you if you wanted to, but it also might leave a trail. Certainly, you all made a mess of these two hobgoblins. So starting out next in the order then, is X.
I vote we hide.
Yeah, I think looks like to the east we can get some distance.
To the east? Isn't that the way the hobgoblin was trying to go?
No, they're coming from the left. But it'll get us some distance and we can range them.
It is the direction the hobgoblin was trying to go. It also may have been trying to avoid the rest of you climbing up the cliff in that direction. As it could definitely, the two hobgoblins could hear you all.
We see if they have anything useful on them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely roll my guy.
Well, what you immediately find is they have long swords and shields. They have heavy crossbows. They have, 19 bolts left in their quiver.
Nice.
They have daggers. Beyond that, you would definitely have to search. So, Millie, you mentioned it first. You can go ahead and make an investigation check. Let's see here. X, you were saying something as well during that?
Yeah, I was just going to look and see if there's a place where we can get out of sight, or we could try to avoid this patrol.
Okay, you can go ahead and you can pick a direction, move your token, and see what you spot. You definitely haven't seen a wall on this area, so as you come around there, you definitely spot a deep sort of cleft in the stone.
I'm trying to be hidey and sneaky, though. I'm not just like walking out in the open, just to be clear.
Copy that. All right, let's see that stealth check then.
17.
All right.
Better at hiding than climbing cliffs, turns out.
Excellent. You see you look into the cleft. There's a shelf. There's like maybe a 2-foot step up to another shelf. There seems to be there seems to be a stone that's been cut and shaped on top. It looks like an area where people might sit and eat. Not like there's really any chairs, but the stone is cut very low, as if a low table. You don't see anything stacked up or stored in the area, however. It does look like at least a decent place to get out of the immediate line of sight of your enemies and perhaps hide and ambush them if you decide to. But you don't see anywhere to escape to. You don't see any tunnels going out, at least not without a deeper investigation.
What do y'all think? Hide or set up an ambush?
Well, I think we set up an ambush and hide.
I was just gonna say, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna come your way.
A hiding ambush. Never been part of that.
It's not an ambush if you don't hide.
It's a 15 on that investigation for
Okay, 15.
the body.
So you find on a cord around its neck a small pouch. It feel coins rubbing together. It's tight enough that they don't clink, probably to hide valuables from others within the stone. You open it up. Looks like maybe a couple of gold, several silver. It's really dark, though. The silvers could be other metals. It's hard to say.
Well, I'll take that.
It looks like a gold and 9 silvers, but it's hard. You won't be able to tell until you really get it into the light or something. And who wanted to check the second one? Is that Cliff?
I can check, or if unless Lokag wants, I can check the second hologram that we just killed. Probably gonna grab the crossbow and the shield.
All right. What does Lokag say?
Oh, no, you go ahead. Check away.
Maybe you grab that other body and chuck it over the cliff. He's going to start going over this body and roll it and see what he can find. You want a perception check or
investigation check?
Investigation. Investigation. Great. 9.
All right. You don't find much extra, but after watching Millie sort of tuck the, reach underneath its shirt, you do see sort of hidden in the harness that holds his armor on is a pouch. Similar, it's shaped and shaped differently and attached differently, but it's a pouch that maybe has a couple of coins in it, but something round as well. I'm gonna tell what it is.
I won't dawdle too long. I'll grab the pouch and the crossbow, and I guess I'll leave the shield for now. And I'm going to go back with X, try to get ready to stage a
All right.
sneaky.
You can go ahead and make that stealth check then.
All right.
And X. And you spare the dying.
Ooh, 18.
I was just looking at spells.
Oh, okay.
And that's...
Okay, I thought you were...
Spare the hobgoblins? You can spare
Yeah, no, it would have been another way for me to stabilize Millie. I was just looking at my spells, and I clicked it.
Cool, no worries. All right, so next in the order then, Helena. What's Helena doing?
Well, we're all about to hide, yes, so... Well, I'd like to get in a place that's high and hide if I can.
Well, it's difficult to. The ceilings are about 20 feet, about 20 feet up. The walls are very irregular, but you don't see any other shelves that you could hide on. You do see some clefts you could climb up into and sort of wedge your body into. That would be closer toward the ceiling.
Yeah, like a tiny little spot. Nobody, like a goblin would do.
Yeah. Okay.
Think like the enemy.
You find what looks like a good cleft as you come closer. Again, it's pretty dim light, but the fire to the northeast of you is pretty bright. It's a pretty large fire, so you're able to make out enough details that you can go ahead and make that athletics check to climb.
18.
Okay. It's very rough hewn. They're not very smooth at all. You can just barely tell that it's not natural. Like it's just been sort of roughly worked over maybe years and years. So you climb up that sort of fissure. It's about 4 feet deep, about 3 feet long, so you're kind of crouched up in there. But you can sort of ready an arrow with your short bow. And X...
Exactly.
Go ahead.
That's exactly what I'd like to do.
All right. And X, you can see her scamper up the wall and disappear. X, do you say anything to her?
No, I mean, she looks like she's finding a hiding spot, so X is good.
All right, yeah, just wondering if you had any tactical considerations or anything. All right. So, Helena, finally you can make a stealth check.
$16.
Okay. Nice. You pretty well vanish, except to those who maybe have dark vision and know where to look. And next in the order is Millie. The sounds of booted feet are getting sort of nearer and clearer as they maybe approach this fire. What is Millie
Okay.
doing?
Kind of looking. Have Have the bodies been dealt with already? Like we've searched them, but I don't know. I didn't. If we've already thrown them over or not.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you all were going to do, and Lokag, if you were going to follow through and take that body and dump it, then you all could do it as part of this turn.
It'll help Lokeg dump the bodies.
All right.
Toss them into the slime.
So as you pitch the bodies over, they sort of tumble down out of view. You can hear them hit the cliff face and the rocks below and splash into the water. You can hear the sluggish waves fall over the rocks nearby. And then something else. Something moving through the water. But neither of you all can see what it is down there in the deepest place within the stone. But it was mentioned, I think, by Cliff that something was moving toward the water. Moving through the water toward you all's previous position down below. And what does Millie do next?
And then I'll go find a hiding spot as well. So I guess this way is the actual cliff face.
Yeah, this is the walls of the massive chamber that you're in. And this is just the sort of broken top.
Yeah.
All right, around the site and all. As you're moving up just as Clifford's getting into position there. Clifford, is there anything else? You've moved up to there. What else do you do? Back.
I'd like to, if I can just check and see what that orb is.
Okay.
And then I'm going to ready an action to fire.
All right. You think you see the luster of gold inside the pouch. A few coins, a few pieces of gold. And you drop out what seems to be a marble. It's just a round sphere. You can kind of see your hand through it. You think it might be blue.
Interesting. Arcana check or something, or is that an action?
No, you can make an arcana check.
I only have +0, so probably not going to go great, but you never know. Yeah, big 5. I don't know what this thing does.
Yeah.
Here. And then he loads the crossbow and he gets ready to fire.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
You added that heavy crossbow to your sheet?
Yeah, I will.
Cool. All right. So the next is Lokag. You are the only one that sees first 2, then 4, then 6, then 8 hobgoblins in ranks 2 wide, coming basically right past the fire and moving off in your direction. Soon they become just silhouettes in front of the fire. But they're marching in your direction. What does Lokag do?
So after chucking the bodies, I think Lokag is going to want to be a little closer to the action. He wants to try and tuck up in this little shelf right here, just around the corner.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Let's see. Okay, this will determine how he's standing. Okay, so he's kind of got the gist of it. He's tucked his hammer off to the side, and he's just leaning flat up against the rock, maybe trying to find a shadow to help his gray and navy blue skin will fade into the rock and the shadow a little, if he can get that going.
Yeah, you know that it will. That's a hunting practice you were taught. In the dusk, or in gloaming, whether it's morning or evening, you're basically invisible against the stones, at least when unarmored. So yeah, you feel pretty confident that you won't be noticed. You all hear the steady progress of the armored hobgoblins moving in your direction. Give me just a moment. Now the numbers also become pretty clear to you all as they get closer, particularly to Helena and X and Clifford, who all have line of sight.
Oh.
Yeah, as you all are looking back to the west. Give me just a moment.
I don't see it yet on the map.
Not yet.
Once they get within 100 feet, fire.
Do we really want to pick a fight with 8 hobgoblins?
I think they're coming our way, unless we can get away.
The rat knows to hide.
I mean, we'll wait until they, if they get to where they can see Lokag, then we're going to have to fight.
Well, you have time to reposition if you all want. Like, X and Clifford, you know you're right out in view. Lokag, you feel like you're sort of meshed into the stone pretty well, that even if they looked right your direction, they might not see you. But
yeah, wherever I can still be able to see them and shoot, with that stealth. So I don't know. I don't want to be so stealth I can't see them.
Well, yeah. I think that's one of the tough parts. So yeah, as the sounds echo over you all, you're sort of just close enough. You can't all talk to each other, but you can sort of whisper down the chain to each other and share a bit of information and perhaps plan. So if there's any other movement you all want to do or reassessment, because once the hobgoblins are right in you all's area, they'll definitely see you if you move. So if you're, if you're maybe wanting them to come into a place where you're all surrounding them, or if you all are just sort of just hiding and observing.
I'm thinking we fire and then pull back behind the cover and then, fire again. I'm thinking we rail them.
All right.
But
So, and Lokag, as far as he knows, we're ambushing. So unless someone gives him a signal to move, he's going to stay right where he is. But, he's a team player. So if someone signals him to, move back or fall back or something, he'll probably try and slink around.
I could use some healing. I don't have any, but anyone's got healing.
I've got a whole point left.
But
Yeah, I'm pretty hurt.
You have a couple of
X,
rounds.
If you can tell what this orb is, maybe it'll help us fight these things.
I can take a look at the orb.
Yeah, I'll let X look at it and see if he has a sense of what it might do.
Okay.
I do have blasting powder. I could drop the I could drop the clip down on him. That might be funny.
X got no
With
idea.
a 2, yeah. X is not sure. There's lots of... It's probably too small to be
This-
a scrying orb or a crystal ball. Go ahead.
This is a sphere. Wow.
Looks like a circle.
But 3-dimensional circle.
Alright.
Wow. Thanks, man. I'm really glad. Now I know.
8 of them are quite. 2 of them are quite powerful. 8 of them are going to be a lot to handle.
Well, unless you see an exit route, we can go north.
Don't attack unless they see us. If they
Yeah, I'd
notice
say
us,
let's-
we attack. If
Yeah.
if we're hidden well enough, then we just stay hidden.
Yeah, if they get, yeah, I agree. Try to stay low and hope they don't see us.
All right. What are Helena's thoughts about all this?
She really does not want to be seen. And, I suppose if they really need her aid, she will assist from her safe cubby. But if we can avoid being seen, I think that's ideal.
Just the map.
Is this thing behind me like a upper shelf?
Looks
Yes, that it's about this right here. Yeah, it's about 3 feet higher than the rest, and there's a stone table that's about 2 feet tall.
Could get cover there.
True. You also think there's some features in the floor. It's uneven in places. It's hard to tell without getting closer, but it's possible that you could hide along the floor or the walls over to the northeast.
This area?
Mhm.
I'll go back towards the table area and kind of just hide back there.
There's an explosion of shouting and exultant cheering from thick and deep goblin voices coming from basically directly north of Millie's position. And to Millie and to all of you, it sounds like it's not direct, like it's coming from another set of corridors or another chamber. So there wouldn't be, if you could see them, there wouldn't be line of sight, but somewhere above, and again, it's the shouting of a fighting pit is what Lokag thought. All right, so as you all tuck in and steady your breath and your bodies, as hobgoblins march into view, they...
Can
Go ahead.
Can Lokag ready an action if he's spotted?
Yeah, you can already actions if you're spotted.
So, if Lokag is spotted, his... can ready actions involve movement at all?
No, it can be movement, but then that's it. So it's anything you could do as an action.
All right.
Essentially, yeah.
Well,
And
never mind.
I also allow bonus actions to be done as a readied action.
Oh, nice.
Okay. If he gets spotted, he's gonna rage then.
All right, perfect. Okay. What about Helena? What's she gonna do if she gets spotted?
She's definitely going to shoot.
Okay.
Immediately.
All right.
Same.
All right, Cliff. X.
Arrow to the face.
All right, Millie.
Hide again.
Arrow as well.
All right, that's a solid
Bolt.
plan. They move to this position here. One of them holds a fist up to call a halt and points. The two in the front step forward. One to here, one to here. Two more sort of move past them, looking out in your direction. The others look over the blood splatters, any other signs they see of combat. They move over to peer toward the edge. One by one, they both look back over to what seems to be the leader, and I will put a let's see here. Put a little skull and bones on what seems to be the commander of this squad. They both shake their heads as if, either to say that the hobgoblins are dead or they don't see them. All right.
Uh-oh. Can we shoot them now?
Give me just a moment. Double checking X. And all right. As they step forward, they definitely scan the area. One of them shouts 1. The other points at X and shouts 1. Another points
Fire.
at Lokag. Go ahead. The other points at, let's see here. So from where you're at, that's going to be with disadvantage. It is. Oh no, that would be perceptions.
With the crossbow?
No. I'm thinking about the light and how easy and how hard it is to see them. But they're not hiding. No perception. Okay, so yeah, that is. Yeah, you can go ahead and make that attack roll. The other one points at Lokag and shouts, "Another!" And the first one is starting to point at Helena. But Clifford, which
18.
All right, 18 is its AC.
I'll go for
That's gonna hit.
All right. I guess I'll go to the guy to the right, to the north of the two there, and I will go ahead and put a hunter's prey on him too. So that'll be an extra D4. It's 9 plus 1, so 10.
Right.
And everyone else?
Yeah, that would be an attack for Helena as well.
Well, or sorry, 13.
And you'd have advantage, I think, right? Because
you're hidden. That's correct.
Oh,
so you get a
okay.
second attack.
No, it's not better.
That is not, unfortunately, that is going to miss.
Really tight spot.
Damn X. Nice.
All right, which
Wow.
one do you dispatch with extreme prejudice here?
Jesus.
The bottom one?
Yeah. Nice.
X, you can feel free to describe or pass as you take out one of the hobgoblins.
He's looking at me, so I shoot him directly in the eye. Right into the eye that's looking at me. He's like, "Hey, I see."
An arrow.
I see an arrow in my eyeball.
Oh my goodness. As it points at Lokag, I'm sure Lokag flies into a rage. What is that?
Lokag's rage is... It's not like a typical barbarian angry. It's more excited than anything. So he just gets a big toothy smile, and you can see his teeth through the darkness now. Like as he opens up, he's got big pearly whites. Took good care of his teeth in the fighting pits. It's important to have good public image. And he just goes, "Ha ha ha! Yes, let's do this!" And he like twirls his hammer and just like hulks out for a second.
Awesome. All right, as you're doing that, the one surviving hobgoblin takes a shot. It turns and immediately fires at Lokag, closest, very dangerous seeming one. It is a single roll with a 16 to hit.
That will hit.
All right. For 7 piercing.
Excellent. And I cut that in half to 4, right?
That's right.
3, actually.
3, yeah.
3? Whoa.
Yeah, we round up in landfall. We round up, yeah.
Oh, you. Oh.
Yeah, that's why you asked, yeah. So, yeah, another game I run. All right. So, it fires, hits Lokag. The two to the north were busy searching, but to the east, there's 2 more that are within range to make an attack. Let me see. And all they can attack is Lokag. That one actually can't see to make an attack. So another crossbow attack at Lokag. You have a +2 to your AC from some of the cover being in the rock. It doesn't matter. That is going to hit. I'm going to re-roll that with my inspiration, in fact.
Oh,
For an
Oh,
18 to hit.
18 will hit.
All right.
That will hit.
Um,
Another 3.
The others likely had their own ready actions. So 2 of them charge further in. Now you all can hear much better than you can see them for the most part. If they attempt to hide, it'll be very difficult to see them. As it is, the situation is looking somewhat dicey. As it is, they, those who with crossbows, you can still see they have shields strapped to their backs, long swords in scabbards, and they'll easily be able to switch. So from your experience, you know to target the archers. They're slightly easier to hit. But with 7 of them, and only 1 of those still hurt, the outcome of y'all's encounter is anyone's guess. Millie, obviously not in line to make an attack, but as you're ready to action, are you still waiting for line of sight, or do you choose instead to maybe get sneak closer or anything like that?
Yeah, I'll sneak up closer.
Okay. All right. That will be half speed, unless you have a special ability that says otherwise. You'll be able to creep a little bit closer.
So I do have something called intuitive motion.
All right, drop it in chat for us.
But I don't think it will technically apply here.
Oh, yeah. No land vehicle.
Yeah, I think that would apply here. But yeah.
Half of 35 rounded down to the nearest 15.
Right, yeah. All right, so you creep a little bit closer. You hear the snapping of the heavy crossbows. You hear one of the bolts.
Perfect.
You probably hear a grunt from Lokag as things explode into action just around the corner. How soon will Millie get into position? How many attacks will Lokag take before the rest, the allies, can bring their forces, their skill, wit, and weapons to bear on the hobgoblins? Will you be able to dispatch them, or will you have to exercise the better part of valor and escape the combat somehow, or will you use some of your very limited resources to make this fight short and deadly? We'll have to find out next session on Goblinstone. Session 5, in fact, next week, gang. I think this is a good
Very
spot
cool.
for us to pause.
All right.
And we'll come back into it in media res. In the middle of it. But for now, that is going to be... We'll pause here as action, as movement, and time slows to an imperceptible crawl for your creatures, for your characters. We can kind of get out of their heads, and we zoom up and see them in this deep place below the earth, beneath the stone that sundered the city, of swamp and this sewage mixing together that's now below you. And outside of that, a city hard pressed by the invasion. Came from the sky, or perhaps another realm. For nothing about the stone seems familiar. Nothing about the habits and actions of these goblins seems familiar. So many mysteries, and hopefully some answers soon. Now, you all made a little bit of progress into the stone, and you can hear and sense the many things brewing and being built, being worked on. And if these are hobgoblins, it would make sense, the legends, that hobgoblins are stronger, more martial and militant. And these certainly match that description. 2 of them went down pretty quickly underneath your focused efforts. I am curious to see what work you all make of these next sessions. But let's check in for a moment and see if anything stood out for you all this session. Any high points, any scary moments, or things that you all are curious about for next session. So yeah, just quickly, anything for you, DL? Any thoughts? Anything stand out? Anything you're nervous about for next session?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of got confused there in the middle because I thought we were all going to hide by the table, and then everybody just started spreading out and hiding. So I didn't know the kind of like if I should jump in and say something or if it just let everybody kind of do their own thing.
Okay.
So yeah, and if we hid by the table and they came back there, we would have been trapped in a corner. So that's not better in any way. So I was thinking, maybe it is better to just confront them out in the open. So other than that, I don't know. I'm just racking my brain trying to figure out if there was a way to avoid this fight at all, and I can't see a way for us to have avoided it. So
without giving anything away,
might have been okay.
Say again, Millie.
I said keep moving. It might have been the best way, but
yeah, without giving too much away, definitely, just picking a different direction. Having not gone up the cliffs in this direction, you likely would have, but you probably would have had some other encounter.
Yeah, we would have had the slime.
Yeah, if you went through the waters, you're gonna have whatever's in the waters. Wherever you are, there's something there. This place is teeming with life. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
We just got raided, by the way, so welcome.
Oh,
Raider.
my goodness. Why, hello, everybody. My goodness. I regret to inform you all that we are finishing our stream and are just checking in with our players. But you are welcome to hang out and join us next session. And we'll raid out to another really interesting group of players soon when we're done with our wrap-up. But thank you, and welcome, everybody.
We'll tell you what you missed.
I would say from the other side of it, DM, I mean, there's a lot of tension here.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else feels it, but like, I actually get a little bit scared in your games because it's like, oh my god, we're gonna die.
That's what I want.
Yeah, this is stakes, man. I like it.
Heck yeah, second level. There's what might be a hag and potentially gelatinous cubes and hobgoblins. Pretty daunting.
Well, I thought she was a nice lady. We could go and rest there. Oh man.
Well, somebody
she's just a potion seller. It was my hopes.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that they thought she might be a hag. I think it was Jay. It was you, I think, Joe.
Anyone that dwells among slimes and is fine, I do not trust.
That's smart. I'll agree with that assessment.
But dog-sized rats give you hope.
They do indeed. They do indeed. We are further away from the slimes, as you can see.
True. How about you, Ponpon? Any thoughts for you this session? Anything stand out for you?
Yeah, Helena, she's not very good at taking commands or knowing what people are doing. She's very much, running instinctually, so we'll have to work with that. Because she's like, oh, crevice, yes, I just don't want them to see me at all. That didn't work nearly as well as she had intended. Yeah, she's definitely freaking out because although she's sort of followed suit with these adventures, I really don't think she has a whole lot of confidence in what she's doing. She just, I think, figures, well, what do I have to lose? But I also don't think she wants to die anytime soon, so... hiding seemed like the better way to go, but here we are.
Yeah, you did hide. It got you this far. Maybe you'll be able to hide again. Heck yeah. Well, how about you, Nick? Any thoughts for you on the session? Anything stand out?
Yeah, I mean, I think the cliff did more damage than Cliff. That cliff was really dangerous. It's very rare that cliffs, actually propose like a real, usually there's plenty of time to climb, but the idea of us trying to climb while we're in a battle, it's just very iconic D&D situation. It's like, all the pictures in the modules of the characters trying to deal with like things, while people are shooting at them. Yeah, I love it. It's old school.
We try to bring something for the grognards as well as those, like, you know, those still green to the hobby.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Grognards are people too.
Yeah. So we're the greenies, the noobs. Yeah.
Sure.
Hobbies for all of us. How about you, Bri? Any thoughts? Does anything stand out for you this session?
Yeah, I got to reckless attack and use my savage attacker feat, and I'm super happy about it. Very happy with the result
Nice.
of that. So,
Yeah, that was was that max damage on the maul?
it was.
beautiful.
It went from rolling a 2 and a 3 on the d6s to 2 6s. So good use of savage attacker there.
Oh man, nice. Well, I think we are wrapping it up. Some of us might, you know, stay to chat a little bit, or no, actually, yeah, we're gonna raid out here in just a moment. So, thank you again, everybody, for joining us, players and viewers alike. This is, you know, this has been a lot. We've all been excited to get together and bring this to you all for a while. So, thanks for being here, because there's, you know, no stream without you all. So, thank you. I got some things I'm working on in the background. Soon there'll be Discord invites coming out, and we'll have a Discord channel, and you know, some fun to bring you all into. Those of you viewing, thanks for those of you who gave us follows tonight. We really appreciate the support, and we hope to see you back again next session. Let's see here. Again, I'm DM Feanor. I'm a pro DM throughout the week. Weeknights, you can find me on, obviously, Discord, DM Feanor. You can message me here. You can find me on Roll20 or on Start Playing Games under DM Feanor. Again, this has been Goblin Stone Session 4. We are the Mythlanders. Thank you so much, and have a great night and a great week, everybody. Dreams are important, and play is very important. So get out there, get to it, and we'll see y'all next week. Good night, everybody.
Night all.
Good night, everyone.
And good luck.
See you next week.
That's right. How ominous. I love how ominous that sounded. Beautifully ominous. Now there's voices disembodied on the screen. All right. Let's see here. Any suggestions on who to raid out to? Or Pon, did you already have an idea? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and check and see if some of my some folks I was following pretty heavily are around. Yes, today is Pon's birthday. I'm glad we're still on voice chat because everyone can hear that. It is Pon's birthday today. She is something years old. Again, yeah. Yeah, that never gets old, and I'm certainly not over it by my age. That is right. All right. Yeah, Pon, I got something coming into chat for you. TRPG Academy looks like they could definitely enjoy some of our love and affections and some of our beautiful numbers here. So if you all have time, you all can stick with them for the night. But you do what you got to do. Thank you so much, stream. And take good care of yourselves. And we will see y'all next week. Yeah, it's late, y'all. Yeah. No, it's no good for me and Joe. We gotta go. Got sensitive ears. Heck yeah. Alright. Now, let's see here. Get over here to OBS. We're rated out, so we are good.